Imagine finding a small 5-cent coin in your pocket change and discovering that the little P mint mark on it is the reason collectors pay close attention to it. Could a 1990 P Jefferson nickel actually be worth much more than 5 cents? The answer depends heavily on its condition, strike quality, and especially the details on the reverse of the coin. So before you spend that old nickel, stay with me until the end, because today on USAX Coins we are taking a close look at the 1990p United States 5-cent Jefferson nickel, its history, design, specifications, mint mark, condition, errors, and the prices that examples of this coin have reached in the collector and auction market. Welcome back to USAX Coins, the channel where we explore interesting United States coins, their history, collectible varieties, mint marks, condition, and potential market value. If you enjoy discovering coins that may be hiding in old collections, jars, drawers, or pocket change, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share this video with another coin collector. And while you are watching, take a close look at your own 1990 nickel, because the difference between an ordinary circulated coin and an exceptional collector example can be surprisingly large. The 1990 P Jefferson nickel is a United States 5-cent coin produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The P mint mark is located on the obverse side of the coin, near the lower right area of Thomas Jefferson's portrait. That small letter is important because it identifies the Philadelphia Mint as the facility where the coin was produced. The Jefferson nickel has been one of the most recognizable 5-cent coins in American history. The design was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Felix Schlag created the classic Jefferson nickel design, placing a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, on the reverse. By 1990, the Jefferson nickel had already been circulating for more than 5 decades. Millions of examples had entered everyday commerce, meaning that most 1990p nickels encountered today have experienced considerable contact with other coins, pockets, cash registers, vending machines, and countless transactions. According to auction and coin market records, the 1990p Jefferson nickel had a reported mintage of approximately 661,636,000 pieces. That is a very large production figure, so the date itself should not automatically be considered rare. The real story is condition rarity. While ordinary circulated examples are common, exceptionally well-preserved examples with strong details can become considerably more desirable to collectors. Great collections. The standard 1990p Jefferson nickel weighs approximately 5 grams, measures about 21.2 millimeters across, and is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has the familiar reeded edge used on Jefferson nickels of this era. Great collections. Now let's talk about the obverse. The front of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. The word Liberty appears along the upper left side, followed by the date 1990. The motto "In God We Trust" appears along the left side of the portrait. On a genuine 1990p nickel, the P mint mark can be found near the lower right portion of Jefferson's portrait. When examining a circulated example, you should pay attention to the amount of wear across Jefferson's hair, cheek, jawline, and the lettering. A coin that has been heavily circulated will normally show flattened high points, scratches, small contact marks, and loss of original surface quality. Now turn the coin over and examine the reverse. This is where one of the most important features of a Jefferson nickel appears. The reverse shows Monticello, the building associated with Thomas Jefferson. Above it is the word E pluribus unum, while United States of America appears below the building. 5 cents and Monticello complete the major inscriptions. Collectors pay particularly close attention to the steps of Monticello. On high-grade Jefferson nickels, the steps can sometimes be completely visible and sharply defined. This characteristic is known as full steps, commonly abbreviated FS. For a normal circulated 1990p nickel, however, you should not expect a dramatic premium simply because the coin carries the 1990 date and P mint mark. In ordinary circulated condition, the coin is generally worth around its face value, with market guides placing typical circulated examples around 5 cents to perhaps 15 cents depending on condition and demand. Secful. This is an important point for anyone watching coin value videos. A coin can be interesting, collectible, and historically important without automatically being worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. The condition and variety must support the higher price. If your 1990p nickel is in fine circulated condition, you should inspect it carefully but realistically. Fine condition means the coin has obvious circulation wear, but major design elements remain visible. Jefferson's portrait will show wear, and the reverse details around Monticello will also have noticeable softness. For an ordinary circulated 1990p nickel in fine condition, a realistic market expectation is usually close to face value rather than a huge premium. The exact amount can vary with dealer demand, coin appearance, and whether the coin has an unusual variety or error. But here is where the story becomes much more interesting. The 1990p nickel becomes significantly more valuable when you move into very high mint state grades. These coins were struck for circulation, but some survived with remarkably clean surfaces and unusually strong strikes. Collectors assembling high-grade Jefferson nickel sets compete for coins with excellent luster, minimal contact marks, and sharply defined Monticello steps. PCGS auction records show an auction record of $2,990 for a 1990p Jefferson nickel in a certified high-grade example. That sale occurred in 2009 through Heritage Auctions. PCGS. Another important auction record demonstrates just how different a premium quality example can be from an ordinary circulated coin. A 1990p Jefferson nickel-graded MS-67 with full steps received a reported $528 auction result in 2024 at Heritage Auctions according to Graysheet's auction archive. A 1990p MS-67 full steps NGC example also sold for $390 in July 2026. Graysheet. These numbers show why collectors examine seemingly ordinary nickels so carefully. The valuable part is not necessarily the date alone. It is the combination of date, mint mark, preservation, strike quality, and certified grade. There are also unusual error examples. For instance, auction records include a 1990p Jefferson nickel with a double struck, obverse brockage, second strike off-center error. An example graded MS-64 full steps NGC was reported with a $139 auction result. Graysheet. This is why you should never judge a coin only from the date. Two coins can both say 1990 and both have the P mint mark, yet one could be worth 5 cents while another unusual error or superbly preserved specimen could attract a much stronger collector price. If you have a 1990p nickel at home, begin by checking the date. Make sure the final digit is clearly a 0. Then locate the P mint mark near Jefferson's portrait. Next, examine the surfaces under good lighting. Do not clean the coin. This is extremely important. Many beginning collectors think a shiny coin must be more valuable, so they polish or chemically clean old coins. Cleaning can permanently damage the original surface and may reduce collector appeal. If you think you have something special, leave the coin in its natural condition. Next, look at Jefferson's portrait. Are the major details sharp or heavily worn? Are there deep scratches? Are there large dents or discoloration? Does the coin still have attractive original luster? Then flip it over and examine Monticello. The steps are especially important. If you can see strong separation between the individual steps, the coin may deserve closer examination. If the steps are weak, worn, or interrupted by contact marks, it is less likely to qualify as a premium full steps example. Remember that full steps is generally relevant to high-grade mint state collecting. A circulated fine condition coin with worn Monticello steps should not be valued the same way as a certified MS-66 or MS-67 full step specimen. The grading process is also important. A professional grading company examines the coin's condition and assigns a numerical grade. A high grade can dramatically change the marketability of a modern Jefferson nickel, especially when the population of coins at that grade is limited. PCGS records show numerous auction results for 1990p nickels across different grades, and the auction record reaches $2,990 for the series entry. This does not mean every 1990p nickel is worth thousands of dollars. Instead, it demonstrates the potential ceiling for an exceptional certified example. PCGS. So what should you expect if your coin is simply circulated and in fine condition? For an ordinary 1990p Jefferson nickel with normal circulation wear, the realistic value is generally around 5 cents, with some circulated examples potentially trading for slightly more depending on condition and buyer interest. Current market references commonly place ordinary circulated examples around 5 cents to 15 cents. SECFL. If the coin is uncirculated, the situation changes. Values can rise into the dollar range and substantially higher as the grade increases. High-grade full steps examples can command hundreds of dollars, and exceptionally rare top-grade pieces have reached much higher auction results. SECFL. This is a perfect example of why condition matters so much in coin collecting. Imagine you have two 1990p nickels. One has been carried in someone's pocket for years. It has scratches, worn details, and dull surfaces. The other was carefully preserved shortly after leaving the mint and has sharp details, strong luster, and clearly defined Monticello steps. Both have the same date and mint mark, but collectors may value them very differently. The 1990p Jefferson nickel also teaches us an important lesson about the word rare. A coin does not have to have a tiny mintage to become scarce in a particular grade. A coin produced in hundreds of millions can still be difficult to find in superb condition. That is known as condition rarity. And that is exactly why experienced Jefferson nickel collectors look beyond the date and mint mark. They study strike quality, surface preservation, luster, step definition, varieties, and certified population reports. So if you find a 1990p nickel in your change, don't throw it away just because it is a modern coin. Take a few seconds to inspect it. Check the P mint mark. Look at the portrait. Flip it over and examine Monticello. Then look carefully at those famous steps. And now let's talk about the auction market value that could make this coin exciting. If you have an ordinary circulated fine condition 1990p Jefferson nickel, don't expect a massive payout. A realistic value is generally around 5 cents to 15 cents. But if you have an exceptional certified full-step specimen or a genuine major mint error, the value can move into the hundreds of dollars, and documented auction records show that exceptional 1990p examples have reached several $100s and even thousands depending on grade and certification. PCGS. The highest recorded PCGS auction result currently shown for the 1990p Jefferson nickel is $2,990. That is the kind of result that gets collectors excited, but remember that it represents an exceptional certified coin, not a typical circulated nickel. PCGS. So the next time you see a 1990p Jefferson nickel, don't judge it by its 5-cent face value alone. Look closely. The date, mint mark, condition, strike, and reverse steps can tell you much more about what you actually have. And now I have a question for you. Do you have a 1990p Jefferson nickel in your collection, and if you do, can you clearly see all the steps on Monticello? Tell me in the comments what condition your coin is in, whether it has the P mint mark, and whether you have ever had a coin professionally graded. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to USAX Coins, and share this video with your fellow coin hunters. Keep checking your change, because sometimes the most interesting discoveries are hiding in coins that look ordinary at first glance.